Okay, well, this is a demonstration of um, connecting a Google Doc spreadsheet to a Google Map. Uh, and this would be done in order to enable tracking uh, tracking canvassing or other activities house by house or address by address. So I've tried to make this demonstration once before, but unfortunately the sound did not record. So you could see here an existing spreadsheet. Okay, so this is very simple and correspondingly doesn't offer a good deal of functionality, but it does offer some basic functionality. And uh, it is both simple to set up and simple to use. So okay, let's take this list of addresses. I've prepared them. I have prepared them by copying them from the Google spreadsheet and placing and pasting them into a text editor, basically Notepad, but you can put them in Notepad yourself. Just make sure to use the Tab key to separate two columns, or you can put them directly into the Google spreadsheet in two columns, or you can copy them from another spreadsheet and paste them there. We can just use this as a way to pretend that we're typing directly into the Google spreadsheet. Here I have 5 sample addresses. They're addresses in Jersey City because this is where I live. Of course, this is not relevant to the locations you're dealing with specifically. So, okay, I will make a new spreadsheet. We can start with that. I've logged into a new account. I'll make a new spreadsheet. So I'm creating a spreadsheet. And let's say, how many addresses would you like to track? Let's say we would like to track up to 20. And you can highlight any set of elements in the grid. I just highlighted 20 of them, from rows 2 to 21. Let me dismiss this node. And uh, I'm going to click on Insert, and I'm going to click on Gadget. Here, I will click on Maps, and here we see several listed. Let's just choose this map and click Add to Spreadsheet. Now we have a few options. We see an Excel style expression of the boxes on the spreadsheet used to make the map. We can keep it at 1 through at 2 to 20. Actually, it's 19 elements. Let's call this house to house. I'd prefer not to use the word canvas. Um, uh, this is so we can use the last column as tooltips. I am only aware of how to use two columns in this case. I'm not sure how to use more advanced functionality. And we can click on zoom using mouse wheel. Let's make the map normal. We press apply and close, and that's it, pretty much. And now the map is loading slowly, and the map has loaded. We can click on it, and we have an outline so that we can drag it. Let's make this window larger. You notice the map does not have anything in it. That makes sense because the Google Map backend wouldn't really know, or in fact the map widget wouldn't know what to display. So let's take our addresses. Let's highlight all of them. Let's copy. Let's place our cursor here, press edit, and press paste. We have now pasted 5 addresses, and we should see slowly these elements on the map appear. If you look here closely, you'll notice there are actually 2 elements here. So there are a total of 5. And the first column corresponds to an address, and you can see you can enter, well, I entered the full address, street, number, street, city, state, and zip. So you can enter HTML tags. I've used only 2. One is the P tag, which indicates a paragraph. You can place words between a tag like this and another closing tag like this, and it'll make a paragraph. Or you can use a BR, and a BR just makes a new line. You could probably use a lot of other tags, I just don't know about it. So let's say if we place our cursor here, we can see a tooltip with this second column. Now the tooltip includes the HTML, unfortunately. I'm not sure how to undo that. But if we click on one of these, then we actually see the HTML work. We see the new lines where we intended them, or where I intended them. For example, we should always have one house that is not tracked. That is the correct text for this, and there are no breaks. This one says visited, then work performed, colon, then floor, walls dried, mold removed. This is the representation. We have two paragraphs, and then we have inside one of, or three paragraphs, and inside one of the paragraphs we have one line break. Here we have, yes, we already saw that one. Here we saw this one too. We have I guess a few paragraphs and two line breaks here. So this is how the map appears. In fact, we can make it larger. Now, notice that one of the advantages of this is that the map is dynamic. So if we want to change 30 Hudson to 300 Hudson, we press enter, and this dot should move. I'm not sure why it did not move. Well, let's well, the first time I made the demonstration, it moved. Okay, so this is unfortunate. Okay, so why don't I press reload and see what happens. I think the problem is that my computer is being slow right now. Well, this is not very much fun. What a nuisance. Let's open this one again. Let's open this one again. Let's dismiss this comment. By the way, this will be available until February or March, and then we'd have to set something else up because Google is discontinuing these so-called gadgets that we would be adding. So, but for now, well, that should give enough time because the rebuilding this in a different format should be pretty simple. So let's say we change the map here. We have two windows with the same spreadsheet and the same map opened. Notice that. Now let's reload this map. Well, there's something wrong with my computer, so I can't reload it. But I can reload it from here. Yes, and we can see that the address has changed. So normally it'll change by itself, but for some reason I think I may have too many windows open and this is not happening. So one other thing you can do is click here, go to your settings, which you can access by clicking on this little button and click on Move to Own Sheet. I don't know how to move it back, but you can see how it'll move. Now it's on its own sheet. The grid itself is right here. So let's move this back to 30. And you can see this is back at 30. Now let's move this back to 300. And you can see that the address is back at 300. Okay, I'll put it back at 30. Here, let me now try again to refresh this. I can't refresh this. It's not refreshing. I'll open it again. You can see that now this indicates that either we or the other window is the admin. Okay, so it's 300 in both. You can also publish this map. If you press publish, you will be given an HTML, a script address, and you can put it in an HTML page, and I can look into how to do that later. I have not been able to do that successfully. It has not retrieved the map. Again, you can see there's one other viewer, so you can view this map simultaneously. Multiple people can edit it and view it as we have seen. At least that's my impression. We can edit some settings, and in fact, if we change A2 to B4, we'll see that the map changes. We have lost 2 of our markers, and the reason we have lost 2 of our markers is that B5 and these rows 5 and 6 are no longer part of the map. This won't update by itself, I'm sure, because the refreshing doesn't seem to work. But if we click on this, gadget on this new sheet, we'll see that it's updating. So 5 and 6 are no longer part of the map. So let's make them part of the map. Again, we click on Edit Settings. We set this to 25. That means you can continue inputting addresses until row 25, and they'll all be part of the map. And see, our elements have returned. So we can use tooltips. We can click on them and we'll see some information, and that information can be edited. You can change the initial visit to not made. Let's see what happens. And we have that reflected here. So this, I guess, should provide some useful information, useful capability. You can also add whatever you would like to the other elements of the spreadsheet, as long as probably the tooltip will be the last column. In fact, you can add other information to these columns. Just make sure you highlight these. Okay, so any questions? We can discuss this separately.